So my luck with air conditioners lately, I guess, hasn't been real great. This is our basically brand new. We've had it a month and a half. 18-foot tow-behind RV camper. And one thing I noticed with the smaller 16, 17, 18-foot campers is instead of a roof-mounted air conditioner, they had basically a house window unit fitted into a box. And I thought, you know, that's actually kind of a selling point to me because I know at Walmart every spring these range from, you know, 120 to 180 bucks depending on which size you get, versus maybe 800 to 1,000 for a specialty RV roof mount unit. So figuring eventually things are going to fail, that's kind of a selling point down the road if we have this that long. I didn't anticipate that it would be, you know, after our second use of it. So what it's doing, you turn it on, the compressor will start and run, so we've definitely got plenty of power. The actual blower or the fan won't run. It sounds like if you've ever had a box fan in the house or even a ceiling fan, those little stepper motors, when they get bad, which I'm surprised again being almost brand new, probably a defect out of the factory, you hear it try and it goes, it tries to start, it just can't. And if you could reach your hand in there and spin it, it probably would. So it's under warranty, but we're planning, it was Monday afternoon when we came in, July 4th the next day, of course they're closed, and we're planning on leaving the following Tuesday, and I'm going back to work, so getting it towed down or hauled down to the RV store, hoping they have this part in stock or can get it that quickly and have it ready for us to use. I figured it'd probably be worthwhile for me to just take a look at it. So knowing what it is, I actually measured and just went by that next morning by Walmart before I went to work, and I had measured, and you know, I came up with 18 and a quarter, 18 and a half inches wide. I measured the depth here, plus figure a couple inches for the wall, and probably not a big deal if it sticks out another inch or two, as long as my weight's not off balance hanging out front. And just guesstimated. I actually did find some specs on this. This is like some no-name out of China brand. You know, even the big names like the GEs are made in China. But at least it's a known brand, so maybe there's some quality control. I came up with a 6,000 BTU unit that I figured would probably be adequate for this space by square footage. That's probably bigger than what you need, but figure a camper's not going to have the insulation of a house. You're going to get to the campsite, it's going to be 105 degrees outside, and you want to cool it down quickly, so you want probably a little bigger. So it's got these trim panels to fill in the gap there. And they've got nice little cover buttons. They just snap off. So I've snapped them off and then got to thinking, you know what, I should probably video this. So I'm going to take my handy dandy impact driver. I'm going to back these screws out. And I probably should have gotten a metal parts tray to put these in. But hopefully we don't lose any of them. Nothing beats doing this in the heat. It is hot out here. It's evening after I've been at work all day, so that means this thing's nice and hot. I have the windows open and a fan on, and that has definitely helped some, but probably not enough. Okay, so they've got a screw up top, they have a wedge block underneath, and then basically, let me detach them each of them here. This is the standard channel that you would have if that were in a window. That would fit around the window sash right there, just fitting around that board up there. Actually looks like it's already kind of split around a little bit there, so definitely putting some stress on it. I don't see any attachment on the back, so we should be able to just pry up a little bit, pull this wedge block out. That'll drop down, slide on out. The cord is run through, and it's got, kind of like you would see on a computer desk, a big hole with a plastic trim ring to cover that. Well, my light's not very good there. Much like you'd have on the top of a desk where you run the wires down for your computer. So I'll see if I can get that pulled out, get that cord free, and then we'll work on pulling this out of here before I get too hot. So just to make things interesting, they've hidden a screw right down there and another one right over here to hold this wedge block in. And if I can't pull that wedge block out, then I can't drop the air conditioner down and get it off of that lip. So I have my handy dandy flexi bit. You can usually find these at hardware stores, even the big box stores, and it'll flex and help you get in at angles. I've just got it on the cordless impact, so I don't have enough hands. I'm going to have to pause this while I do that, but I'll get those out and see if we can get this out of here. Okay, so here's our opening. We have a fancy drip pan here. Pretty chintzy if you ask me. They just cut a simple hole and put that grill screen over it for it to vent to, and then there's a fresh air intake up here, which is a vent on the roof, which will draw in here, and of course then the hot air is blowing out the back here. So here's our window unit in all its glory removed, and let's take it in and measure and see if our chosen replacement is going to fit with ease. So hopefully it's not too loud to hear. This is the new air conditioner in and running. Really not much I had to do dimensionally. They were just spot on the same. I didn't care much for just this, 2 screws, one in each corner down here, and it was resting on that. The air conditioner came with this little tab, which is I think a window lock tab, to screw in a window frame in a house. I thought, well, I'll throw that up there, and I thought, no, that's really not enough bracing, so I just had some of these straight metal strip brackets, drilled a hole in that bottom bracket in the air conditioner, attached it there, screwed to this block, and then screwed to the bottom frame here. Same thing on this side. And then when I look at the top, I don't know if that really shows up. You can see how poorly attached this was. This is cheap MDF at the start of this one. So this hole's so close to the edge of the wall, I figured that would split it. So we'll skip that one. And then the actual trim piece screw, I was able to align with the hole over here. So that's why I didn't put a screw there. The trim piece screw would go through there. And then over on this side, you can see the trim piece screws are here and here, so I had to go up and around, and I'm not going to bother putting one that close to that other screw. Of course, that's too close to the edge, so just the one out here, but that should give me a little more bracing. And then where our cord comes through, the hole is just a little bit too small. You can see the big circuit breaker ground fault interrupter on this plug was just a little too big with those nubs to fit through, so I had to wallow that out a little bit. But the cover will still cover that, so that'll be fine. I don't think that'll be an issue at all. So I'm going to button this up, put the trim back on. It was really just screws that went through these panels, held them on, and closes this all up here. So I guess before I cover this up, I ought to show that gap there on both sides. And they had originally some of this real cheap ultra thin stuff, so I went to the home store and got, this is actually air conditioner window foam insulation in a bag. They call it a kit. It's just a little strip of this, a few feet. This is what's left from doing both sides. Anyway, shoved in there pretty tight. That ought to help quite a bit as well. And then I actually took some of this and shoved up in the ends up here in this bracket. Ought to help, at least a little bit. It's in the house, so, if you can't stand a little draft when you're roughing it in the camper, then, you're a little too spoiled, but thought it might help a little bit. So here we are, all buttoned up. I left a couple of the caps off just to show you what they look like. Just plastic that pops over those button caps. So that's pretty well it. The cover that they had, covering the power cord hole, that was actually stapled in. You can see a couple little dents from the staples. I may take some two-sided tape, or maybe just some silicone or construction adhesive, tape it down till it cures if I go with any of the liquid stuff, and just set that back up there. But that's just a split ring like you'd find on a desk. Slips over the cable and then covers the hole, but that's pretty well where we ended up at. So now we can get on the road to the lake, not worry about not having an air conditioner or not having it fixed in time. Pretty easy install. Just one of those things. I can't complain too much. I mean, it is a brand new camper, but first world problems. If I'm complaining about air conditioner not working in my camper, I still have a roof over my head. I still have a vehicle to tow with. I still have a camper, so I really probably shouldn't moan and complain about this.